Hey everybody and welcome. Well, actually, let me start that over. Aloha everybody and welcome to a special edition of the Payments Podium. Today I have some really special guests from the islands of Hawaii. Well, it's actually state of Hawaii, but it's the islands of Hawaii Hawaii are being represented today. And we're actually going to be discussing what's called PacPay and PacPay's Payments University and PacPay's Fraud Day. Now, you may be wondering, what are all these things? And to help us, I have from PacPay, the vice president, and from the board, I have Calais and I have Isabel that are going to be here with me. And you know what? Before we get started, can I have you two introduce yourself? Calais, who are you and what do you do?
Hey, I'm Calais Degulo. Welcome to the podcast. I am the PacPay Vice President, and I'm here to serve you.
Hi, I'm Isabel Navarro. I am a recently appointed PacPay board member, and like Calais, I'm here to hopefully help answer any questions that you have.
Well, I got a question right away. What is PacPay? I mean, what do we tell people that PacPay is? People in Hawaii or people here in the States? What would you tell them?
We are here to promote the safe, secure use of payment systems here in Hawaii, serving our state and communities.
We're here to help educate the participants in the state of Hawaii in person or virtually. We advocate on behalf of the financial institutions in the state of Hawaii. And we're here to just help support one another. Unique situation being on the islands.
So if I'm hearing right, and from what I understand, PacPay is an organization that has members that are financial institutions, banks, and credit unions that work together for the safety and soundness of electronic payments in Hawaii.
Correct.
I love it. Now, you mentioned education, and I know that when it comes to education, you guys have some wonderful events coming up this November. You have what I've heard, the Fraud Day, and you have Payments University. Could we talk a little bit about what those two things are, especially like Fraud Day? What is Fraud Day? Why would people want to attend that?
Oh, sorry. Fraud Day is an awesome day that we get together with our local financial institutions and FBI agents, and we have awesome topics on fraud and how we can prevent fraud. Check fraud is going up. We all know it. ACH fraud. We have new payment rails that are coming up that we're wanting to make sure that we're securing our payments against fraud. So come to Fraud Day.
So if I remember right, last year at Fraud Day, not only did you have the FBI, you also had the Secret Service.
Correct.
That came in and they talked about like what's really happening in fraud and what people can do to prevent fraud. Isabel, is there anything you would add to what Fraud Day is?
I would. It's actually a great opportunity to network. So there's people from both credit unions as well as banks. We share business cards. You make contacts. For a lot of us, we put a name with a face, because it may be people we're talking to on a day-to-day basis regarding ACH or checks, and we've never had the opportunity to personally meet them. So it's awesome to network. Matcha is there, PacPay board members are there, you guys are all there, the experts. So personal information and personal contacts.
Okay, so it's a lot of information. It's a chance to be able to meet your peers. I guess people that have the same problems that you're having too. What would you say, though, is your favorite part about Fraud Day? What do you look forward to the most when it comes to the Fraud Day? Or even if it's one of the past ones, what was your favorite part about it?
My favorite part about Fraud Day is the aha moments that I get when I go there. Pig butchering was the last topic that we had that was extremely eye-opening to everybody in the audience. We loved it. So come out.
I agree, because when it came to pig butchering, I'm thinking we get some Kahlua pig, right? That had nothing to do with that. That was eye-opening. It was a big surprise to be able to learn about it and to go into detail and to learn things you could do to help prevent it. But Isabel, what about you? What was your favorite part of either past ones or something you're looking forward to in a future one?
Like Calais, I'm always interested in finding out that people are experiencing the same issues that I'm experiencing, knowing where we're going with fraud, and then also knowing what to expect. Because a lot of times here in Hawaii, things take a little bit to get here. So what's happening on the continental US may take a month or two before it reaches us, but to be aware of what's happening so that if we start to see things happening that could possibly correlate to a fraud incident that was previously or has already started happening on the US continental, we can be prepared.
Well, I love that you brought that up, that sometimes things are happening in Hawaii that aren't happening in the U.S. mainland, or sometimes there are things that are happening in the mainland that haven't made it to Hawaii yet. And I think an important question, and probably why PacPay also exists, is are payments different in Hawaii, or is they same in the mainland, or maybe there's some similarities, but there's some differences? What would you tell a bank or credit union in the U.S. when it comes to how payments work for you guys?
We're a small island, so it's very different here in the islands, I think. I mean, the basics about the payment rails are the same, but I think our close-knit communities here makes it a little bit different. In addition to our time difference. So there's timing differences of, when payments are clearing and all the different channels that we have. So I think we're a little bit unique. I'd like to think that.
So what I could add to that is I'm from a credit union, and the relationship between banks and credit unions here in Hawaii are a lot different than they are in the continental US. So again, at any given time, if I'm having an issue with an account that may be having some transactions through Kalei's financial institution, there's no hesitation for us to call Kalei and say, hey, Kalei, this is going on. I need some help. So again, the relationship between credit unions and banks are different here in the islands than they are on the continental US. And that does make our payments and our movement of money locally a little bit different, I think.
I would totally agree. Having been somebody who grew up in Hawaii, things are a little different there than they are here in the States. All right. One more thing about Fraud Day. I know it's November 12th and that it's going to be taking place that week. It's a one-day event. If people want to go sign up and register for that, where do they go?
PacPay.org.
Okay, and if at PacPay.org, I'm sure there's something on the page that'll make it easy for them to find.
We have an education page on there. There's two options for them to join. They can join either in person or virtually, but it's a great opportunity to just get in, learn about payments, learn about fraud, get to meet the other local financial institution members as well.
All right. When you say you offer it virtually, I've had people tell me, well, I thought Hawaii's a small state. Why would you have the virtual option? Is there a reason for having the virtual option?
I would say a lot of people, the dynamic in the office per institution could be different. I might not be able to take a whole day off, but I could run away or join a recorded session, a live session for an hour or two. It may be a specific area that I'm focusing in. Again, we all are running short. We're running without a full staff, and I may not be able to devote an entire day.
Well, and I also tell people not everybody lives in Honolulu. There are 7 islands, and so you do get people from different islands, and not everybody can travel, and it's a plane ride for most people to be able to get there. That's one of the things or misconceptions about Hawaii, too. It's not just, a canoe ride between each island. There's some definite distance between them. Now, besides Fraud Day, taking place right after Fraud Day is also what's called Payments University. What's Payments University?
Payments University is a great opportunity for our local financial institution teammates to come together. It's an intense 2 days of checks, ACH, wires. We also have our new payment rails, RTP and FedNow. So come and learn about all these new payment channels, rules and regulations. It's a great opportunity to interact with experts also that we bring in for the event.
Yes, as Kalei had mentioned, the portion that I like the best about the Payments University is the regulatory updates. In case we all read so much about regulations, but in the event that we miss something or we may not have had a clear understanding of how it's going to impact our day to day, going to the meeting and attending and listening, and people ask questions. So it's very interactive, and I always walk away feeling like I know a lot more than I started my day off with.
I love that feeling of like, hey, this was worthy and valuable to be here, and I was able to learn something. And what I also loved is you mentioned really every payment channel. So are you saying, like, for example, the world of wires. If there's something new, like I know there's the Fed migration to ISO 20022 coming. If there's something new like that, will that be something that gets discussed or maybe even gets on the agenda that people can learn about?
Yes, I would encourage you to submit questions, submit ideas, topics that you'd like to learn about. We always are interested in what our members want to see at these events, and definitely bringing in the experts who can talk about it and that you can hear face to face the things that are going on in the payments industry.
Okay, I do have to ask if since you take, the people, the PacPay members, you take their input for classes, where would somebody go to submit a topic or to request a discussion topic or something like that?
Definitely can go to pacpay.org. It will link you up and allow you to give comments, questions. We also have operations PacPay meetings every quarter. You can always reach out to any one of us, call us, email us, talk to us.
Right. Another one I think is important, besides that FedNow migration is there's a lot of new ACH rules coming out. I mean, what? They put out like this long list of stuff over the next 2 years too. Is that something if I come to Payments University, I'll be able to learn more about that too?
Yes, definitely. And you can also talk to the other local financial institutions to find out what they're doing about it and how they're planning to implement some of those rules and regulations.
Okay, what about this though? What if I'm like
Exactly.
new to payments? Like I haven't been doing this very long. If I come to Payments University, is it going to be over my head or are there going to be classes that will be appropriate for somebody who's new to the industry?
There's classes for everyone. So depending on the level or the topic that you might be focusing on. A lot of times in our financial institutions, someone works on credits, someone works on debits. We don't always necessarily do everything. So the sessions are divided up.
So there will be some main sessions for everybody, and then there's also breakout sessions for depending on the level that you're at. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. What's been your favorite part of past payments universities? What would you can you share with people to tell them, hey, look forward to having this happen?
So my favorite part is interacting with all of the other local institutions, making contact with them, and really using them as a resource in case I need to reach out to them. So it's really that face to face and putting names to faces and being able to connect whenever outside of Payments University as well.
Isabel, what about you? What's been your favorite part of past payments universities? In fact, I almost want to say payments funiversity.
Like Calais, it's the same thing. It's the networking. And also just listening to the expertise. There's going to be so much people there with so much knowledge. And again, I always feel like, oh, I'm pretty comfortable in ACH. By the time I walk out of there, I always learn something new. Not one thing, but several new things. And as I mentioned, you just meet people who are just a wealth of knowledge. It's crazy how much people are there and how much they know, either related to what you know or just sharing brand new knowledge that you had no insight on.
Well, and you talk about new things too. You mentioned, I heard RTP and FedNow. Will those new instant payment rails that have just sprung out? I mean, FedNow is just barely a year old now. Will there be topics and discussions, things that even if somebody's not using them yet, they could come and learn about?
Yes, definitely. So I think right now in the States, we have two that are receiving FedNow payments, but come see, I mean, there's lots that are not on. You can hear about how you can prepare, some of the risk, how you can prevent fraud. So definitely encourage you to come out.
Okay, another thing, because I know I'm looking forward to being at Payments University. And one of the biggest things I miss about Hawaii almost every day is a good plate lunch to begin with, I'm just got to tell you the food. I do. I miss the food. They cannot make rice correct in the States. They just can't. So people like me who get hungry, is there going to be food and snacks?
Yes. Lunch, yep.
There is plenty.
I gotta say there is plenty. Okay, what about this though? we've talked about Fraud Day and we talked about Payments University. Do I have to go to both, or can I just go to one or the other?
You can go to either one or both. It's I think they work hand in hand, so it's very useful to attend both.
Yeah, and fraud day is free. It's open to anyone. You don't have to be a member.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you say free?
It's free.
All right, I don't know how anybody watching or listening to this right now isn't already at pacpay.org signing up for that's free. Now, Payments University, though, I believe there is a cost to go with that one. Is that correct?
There is, but we also, for members, have coupons that they can use. Those members who are using education packages can also use that to register as well. So it's well worth your time and money to come to both events.
Well, okay, we also talked about, if somebody's new to payments, and coming to this, it would help them. What if it's somebody who's got like 10 or 20 years experience? Are they going to be coming in and being able to learn stuff too that's appropriate for what they do?
Yes, I agree that they would be, because as we had mentioned a little bit earlier, think the regulations that are changing, changes that are upcoming, things that are moving quickly, or things that maybe even just within the discussion area will be brought up, and it'll give everyone a little bit of insight into what to expect and what's coming.
Okay, here's another really important question. What if I got 5 people I need to send? What's the limitation on how many people I can send to Payments University?
There's no limit.
So if I want to send all 5, I can send all 5?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you also said, there's different tracks for people to take. Are they going to be stuck on one track, or can they just attend whatever class they want?
Whatever class they want.
I like it. So again, how do I go and register for this?
PacPay.org.
And one last thing, is there anything I missed? Anything else that you'd want to tell people about either becoming a member of PacPay, attending the Fraud Day, or attending Payments University, or both, that they should know?
It's fun. It's educational. We try our hardest to make sure we can meet everyone's needs, and we're always willing to learn, to listen, and we hope you are as well.
Well, thank you both for being in this special edition of the Payments Podium. This is where I say aloha, and I am looking forward to November, because I'm going to be at Payments University and at the Fraud Day. I would love to meet all of you out there. Go to pacpay.org. Make sure that you register. This is one of those premier events that you do not want to miss. I know PacPay has people come in from the states, experts from the state too, to be able to come in. There's that networking, there's good food, and there's amazing classes. And one last thing, you actually get out at a decent time, so you don't got to worry about the traffic. We get you out a little bit before the traffic, and you still get a full day, and you get continuing education credits. Don't miss it. PacPay.org, Payments University. I'll see you in November. But for now, class dismissed.